Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Anton, and welcome to today's video for Honkai Star Rail. Now, a few days ago, we had the 1.3 preview stream, I guess you could call it. And in this stream, we got a lot of stuff, but today, and I actually did a video on that, my previous one, if you want to check it out, summarizing it and my thoughts. But I wanted today to talk about specifically the upcoming characters and more specifically their banners. Near to their release in the future, I'll probably do a video talking about just the two characters, Imbibitor and Fu, 5-star Dan and Fu, whatever you want to call them. But I wanted to talk about the banners themselves and to go into a little depth with the 4 stars and what I think of these banners. Because in my opinion, these are some really good banners. Yes, we're still early in Honkai's lifespan, so there's almost always like good stuff on each banner, but I think this banner is really good. So, what do I want to start with? Well, one of these banners I think is insanely good, and you should probably roll for this banner, even if you don't like the 5-star character. I'm sure some of you can already guess who it is, but we'll talk about that when we get to that banner. But let's talk about Imbibitor first. Let's talk about Dan's banner first. So, of course, we got Dan on his banner, Imbibitor, whatever. And our 4 stars are going to be Asta, March, and Yukong. I love all 3 of these characters for a lot of different content in the game. In my opinion, out of the 3 of these, I'd say Asta is probably the best with eidolons. March, I know a lot of people are a little meh on March. I think she's fine. Yukong as well, a little complex, but I think she's good. Let's talk about them a little more in depth with each of them. Not much to say on March in my opinion. I do kind of agree with people who say March just gets replaced by Japard. Yes, I feel like most teams that would think about playing March would rather just play Japard. But I do think March in the future can get buffed, not by actual direct buffs to her, but by new characters. A character that wants to get hit, basically, sort of like Clara, but not like Blade, because Blade wants to take damage. Clara just wants to get hit. Clara is just like, yeah, hit me, and then Sivarog's gonna donkey punch you, and you're gonna die. So, in other words, I feel like if there's a character that can take advantage of March's taunt-giving shield, I guess you can call it, then March gets better and better. Plus, her eidolons are pretty solid. I believe it's the E6 eidolon, which gives her a heal. Pretty nice. Now, Asta, who, in my opinion, I think Asta is super underrated. I don't think she's as underrated as she was, say, like a couple months ago, but I still think she's super underrated, and she's just so good in all content. Great for like fire teams, fire damage dealers because of her traces. But yeah, now that people are starting to understand speed a little bit better, I feel like people are starting to realize just how good her ult is. Before, a lot of people were like, well, her ult just gives speed. So what? Doesn't give any like attack percent or crit rate or whatever. Why would I want to play her? Especially when, characters like Bronya exist. And yes, Bronya does also help make your team faster, but she's kind of sort of limited to only helping one character at a time. Asta gives the entire team speed. So yeah, I love her. I think she's really strong. Plus her skill, her skill, her technique, not her technique, her talent, the charges of Asta, huge. The charges that give some more attack to your team, like, it's crazy how much damage they can give. And E0 Asta, she's good. I think E0 Asta is pretty solid, but I feel like Asta, especially compared to other characters, really gets so much better when you get her eidolons here. Let's actually look at my Asta as an example for just how good she gets when she gets eidolons. Now, I don't have as many eidolons as I'd like on Asta, but we'll just go through some of the eidolons really quick so we can talk about how strong she gets. So, E1, Using a skill or using her skill deals damage 1 extra time to a random enemy. That's just nice for extra weakness breaking. So that's always great. E2, this is where I think a lot of Asta's power comes into play once you get her E2. After using her ultimate, Asta's charging stacks will not be reduced. And if you can get her to use an ult every, say, 2 turns, you're not losing stacks really that much, in all honesty. So really big fan. Feel like if you do like Asta, you should definitely try for E2. If you don't like Imbibitor, though, maybe don't pull just for Asta. Of course, 3 and 5 are just, you know, the extra levels. But 4, this is actually really tempting for me, as I'm an Asta enjoyer and I only have E2. I'm really tempted to go for E4 Asta. Energy regen increases by 15% when she has 2 or more charges. So, you know, you get those charges, you get more energy regen rate. You get more energy regen, you get more ultimates, so you can use her ultimate, and having her E2 active as well as her E4, you're not losing charging stacks that much. So your charging stacks are going to stay relatively high up. And then E6 is really nice for helping keep them up high too, just, you know, not losing charging stacks that much. Now, but why is that so good though? You might say like, okay, I see it, but tell me more. Well, look at this. My Asta is not that well built. I'm still trying to build her more and more, but I have other characters I'm building as well. But even with as weak as my Asta is, only level 7 for her talent, every stack of charge, or every stack of charging she has, all allies' attack is increased by 11.3 up to 5 times, assuming I get 5 stacks, which is not unlikely, but not common. That's around a 56% increase in attack. Rounding, of course. Let's assume like 3 or 4, like around 33, maybe like 33 with 3, around what, 45 or so with 4 charges. That's a huge jump in attack. I've been using her a lot recently too with Kafka because Kafka likes attack. Been using her to help me do like 0 cycle clears with Kafka. I've been using like a Kafka, Tingyun, Silverwolf, and Kafka. So yeah, Asta, great character, definitely very good, and you should consider pulling for her and getting her eidolons up. Our next character though we have on the banner is Yukong. I like Yukong. She's a very complex character in my opinion though, so if you're the kind of person who doesn't want to read too much and just wants to have number go up, you're probably better off playing like Tingyun in all honesty. But I feel like if you can really get the number crunching done well, get your turn ordering done well, she gives a lot of damage. And, you know, if you're in MOC where you don't have to have that many turns go by, she's really great too, because she gives insanely high amounts of stats. And then we got Dan, of course. Dan seems good. Imbibitor seems great. Might be a little skill point hungry, so you might, even with his ability to get, I don't know, free skill points, whatever you want to call those. But I think he's pretty solid. As for the next banner, this is the banner I was hinting at the beginning of the video when I was talking about how there's one character I think everyone should roll for. It's not Fu. Fu is not the character I think everyone should roll for. I like Fu, but it's Lynx. So the 4 stars are Hook, Pella, and Lynx. Why is Lynx, in my opinion, a character almost everyone should roll for? She's a healer. Simple as that. If you don't have a second sustainer, so you don't have a Bailu or Luocha or a Japard, I would highly, highly recommend doing around like 30 or 40 rolls to try and get Lynx, even if you don't like Fu. And if you get Fu in like 30 or 40 rolls, honestly, that's pretty good. You got a 5-star in 30 or 40 rolls. But she's a really good healer. She has an AoE. Her ult is an AoE heal, similar to Natasha's, except it also cleanses. So AoE cleanse, that's pretty nice. She helps enable mono quantum teams. So, you know, Link, Silverwolf, Fu, and then Zila or Xingchui. You might not even need Fu for that team. If you don't want Fu, you could just go like Link, Silverwolf, Zila, plus, I don't know, like Natasha or Luolcha or whatever if you want to heal her. So yeah, I think she's really good, and I think if you don't have a second healer or second sustainer, you definitely should at least strongly consider pulling for Lynx. As for the other characters, we got Hook. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Hook. Pitch Dark Hook the Great is great, but she does do good single target damage, single target fire damage, and at the moment she's kind of the only one who does good single target fire damage. Like, yeah, Himiko's there, but she's more AoE. Her eidolons are pretty good too, just increases her damage. I'm gonna be honest with you though, I am a little worried about Hook, and I'd say if you don't have Hook built, maybe don't consider building her now, because we do have Topaz coming up. And while we don't know what Topaz does yet, we do know that Topaz is a fire hunt character, and hunt characters are pretty much just single target damage dealers, and so Topaz might be power creeping out Hook when it comes to single target fire damage. Now, of course, if you just like Hook, go ahead and go crazy and build Hook, or maybe you're not gonna you're not gonna pull Topaz and you just want a single target fire damage dealer. Hook's great. She is still solid. The existence of Topaz will not change the fact that she is still a good damage dealer. And then we have Pella. I like Pella. I think she is similar to Asta in that, in my opinion, I think Pella's a little underrated. People are starting, in my opinion, to actually respect Pella more and more. Especially after playing with Silverwolf and seeing how good Silverwolf is and how Pella is similar in what she brings to a team compared to Silverwolf. But I really like her. I will say this though, I do think her eidolons are a little meh, except for, I believe it's her 4th eidolon. We can actually use my Pella really quick to talk about this. So as we can see, like, enemies defeated, she regens 5 energy. That's like whatever. It is nice to get her skill active more and more, because her skill does shred some defense. E2 is like, yeah, it increases her speed, which is whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yeah, more speed is nice, but she doesn't really care as much as some characters have speed. E4 though is what I was talking about. E4 is what I think is the most powerful Pella eidolon. When her skill is used, there's a 100% base chance to reduce the target enemy's ice resistance by 12% for 2 turns. I think this is really good, not in the current game and not in the game when Fu comes out, but when Jing Liu comes out. I guess you could argue Yanqing, but I do think a ice team, or just a team that uses Pella plus an ice damage dealer, so Jing Liu or Yanqing, will love this eidolon. So if you're considering pulling for Jing Liu, or you have a Yanqing and you like using Yanqing, consider this. Plus you can do that mono ice team, you know, Pella, Japard, some ice damage dealer, and Silverwolf. And that seems pretty good. You get like a, you know, that 12% ice resistance reduction is pretty solid. So, you know, Fu banner, really, really good banner. I love her, but I do think Hook is probably the least desirable of these 4 stars. Personally, I'm going to be pulling for Fu as well. I think she's just a really good character as well, as, you know, scaling with HP, shields, damage, whatever, all that stuff she's doing. Really cool character. Plus, Mono Quantum seems really fun, and I do want to build a Mono Quantum team with Fu, Lynx, Silverwolf, and Xing Shui. So hopefully I get Fu, and hopefully I get Lynx. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about these 4 stars, because I think they're all really, really good 4 stars. I think every single 4 star on both of these banners is really strong and has content they excel in. But yeah, I would like to hear what you guys think about these banners. Do you think these 4 stars are good? Do you agree with me? Do you think Asta and Pella are good? Do you think Lynx is going to be a really good must-pull healer? I honestly think she's going to be a must-pull healer if you just don't have a second healer. Like, second healer is just so needed, especially in high-level MOC, like past MOC 5. Also, are you going to be pulling for Fu and Imbibitor? And if so, what are you building with them? What kind of team comps are you considering? I'd love to hear your opinion. Personally, I'm pulling Fu, skipping Imbibitor. But I'm going to be honest with you, that's because with the upcoming characters, Topaz and Jing Liu, I really want them, and I'm trying to save up for them, so I'm going to skip Imbibitor. Anyway, though, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you could leave a like or a comment down below. Always helps me out and always helps out the channel. And if you guys want to keep up with the Honkai Star Rail content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you want to talk to me or talk to some other people about Honkai Star Rail, you can always go and join my Discord. There's always a comment down below that links to it. And if you want to watch me play some Honkai Star Rail, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zenitton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all once more for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!